Hey guys, welcome back. Just wanted to put up a little airsoft video here of the collection. This is the stuff on the wall here. It's a decent sized collection. There may be people out there that have more than me, and there's maybe people out there that only have a couple. But I've been playing airsoft since 2003. This is an accumulation. This is not something I went out and bought overnight. Just wanted to kind of go over what's here, what we got, who makes it, and there's a couple here. One I'm still editing a review on, and one I did post a review on it, and we'll get into that a little bit when I get to that particular AEG. And again, these are all airsoft. None of this is real steel. These are AEGs. They're all electric. The rifles are all electric. I have some gas blowback pistols, and they shoot a 6mm plastic BB. So anybody's looking to say anything, these are not real. So I just wanted to kind of go over the collection. So we'll start on this wall here. And real quick, I always have parts and accessories and stuff ready on standby for things that I may have to fix, because you never know. I mean, some of these AEGs are pretty old, so I always try to keep some parts on hand. And I do tinker with these things. I do all my own work. And let's start with pistols. I do have 3 functioning pistols. I have 5 total. 2 of them are not hung because they're just parts. But these are the 3 that still actually function and I have used before. So first one here is the KJW High Kappa. This one here will run on CO2 or green gas, and it's been a pretty good secondary. I've run it on CO2 and green gas. Not too much difference in terms of performance between the two. The only thing is 12-gram cartridges and the CO2 version, the CO2 mags. The only thing I've had go wrong with this is I lost the front sight. It fell off, and have not been able to find a replacement that fits this slide. But it does still function, and you can basically just watch where your BBs are going. I mean, having a front sight is nice, but but it's still usable. Coming down from that, this is the G&G Extreme 45. I think there are still some places that are selling these. They were pretty popular at one point. And also at one point, this used to be our team sidearm. Everybody on the team had one of these as a sidearm. And of course, this is not original paint. It's been stripped and repainted because it used to have the Extreme 45 name along the slide, and it was like chrome looking. This particular pistol, I think, is the reason Fields now chrono pistols. This thing came out. It's CO2. It only runs on CO2, and it shoots hot. It shoots over 500 feet per second. It's not a full blowback. It's a partial blowback. But yeah, it's decent. It's decently accurate. But again, it shoots hot, so you may make some people angry if you get them with this. And down the bottom here, this is an old school KWA HK USP compact. Now when I say old school, this is before the NS2 system. So the parts are really hard to get for this. I don't think I can even get magazines for it anymore. And the valves for the magazines are also almost impossible to find. You really got to dig around on the internet to find it. Full blowback, green gas only. But and it's 1-to-1 scale, and it fits my real steel duty holster for the HK. So I mean, if you're running that kind of gear, it'll fit in any of the standard HK holsters for this model. But yeah, those 3 pistols, they do function, and they are used from time to time for sidearms. Now let's get back over to the wall here. We'll start up at the top. This, obviously, you can see the M4 is my go-to, but we'll get into the other stuff on the other wall. we'll start, and these are in no particular order as far as being hung on the wall. They're all different ages. They all came from different places, but we'll touch a little bit on it. So we'll start off at the top. So the very top here, and I have a little cheat sheet here because I can't remember the names of everything. So the very top, ICS M4 with the Ready Mag system. This is an all metal receiver, so the upper and lower receiver are all metal. It's got a flip up or flip down rear sight. I did put the Ready Mag system on there. It came with a mock suppressor, which I don't use. I don't know if you can see it. I do not use that. When I am using the mock suppressor, it's actually my tracer unit when I'm using that. So that's basically the mock suppressor. It's usually a tracer on there. So the ICS, it was popular at one point. This particular model is also really hard to find. I purchased it at evic.com back in 2015. This particular model no longer comes up on their website. ICS is known for having a split gearbox, so you pop the rear pin and the receiver tilts forward like a real AR, and you can remove the top section of the gearbox, which houses your piston, your spring, your nozzle, tappet plate. You can see it here. This is one of them. You just basically slide it out. So if you have multiple, which I do, you can change your FPS without actually tearing anything apart. So this particular one here is 432 to 436. So this is kind of my designated outdoor one. The one I have in there now shoots 335, so that's good for my indoor. This one I also put the Gate Titan Advanced trigger MOSFET unit in it, and that's really nice. Really nice. I can program it 3-round burst, 6-round burst. I can even do a 10-round burst, binary mode. But you can install those in anything. I just chose to put it in that, and it was an easy install because with the split gearbox, the lower part of the gearbox is where all the gears are. So I don't have to really deal with pistons and springs and all that. It's, two separate halves. But it's been good. It's got plenty of BBs through it, and that is my go-to. That's always my primary right there. So coming down from there, this one here, let me get my cheat sheet. Classic Army M4 with the RIS, Rail Integrated System. Now this was a friend of mine. He purchased this a long time ago, not exactly sure when. He moved out of state, moved back to his home state, and when he left, he gave this to me under one condition. He said, I'm going to give this to you, but you can never sell it. I have no plans to sell this thing. It's on the wall. It has been used. It's part of the collection, and if you get to see this video, just know that if you ever come back to this state and you want to use it or you want to take it with you when you head back home, totally up to you. It's here whenever you need it. But it's a classic Army M4. Got some upgrades to it, but this thing, even out of the box when it was new, it just rails BBs like crazy. Very durable, all metal receiver, and it has had training ops, 3-day ops, Lion Claw events. There were 2. My friend did have 2 of them, so I'm not sure how many ops this one actually saw, but I know it's gotten some usage. So, and this one he put the full stock on it. I'm not mad at that at all. As you can see, the one above it, I don't mind a full stock. I don't have short arms, so I don't really need an adjustable stock. Also makes it easy to put a large stick type battery in there, nickel metal hydride for those long games. You can put the high milliamp hour batteries in there. Fits no problem. So coming down from that, here is the one that started it all. As I'm bumping stuff on my table trying to get this paper, my cheat sheet. This one started it all. This is the Tokyo Marui M4 RIS. This guy purchased this back in 2003. This was my very first AEG, and it was running an 8.4 volt battery wired to the front. It had one of those battery boxes that went on the top rail, and plastic ABS receiver, shooting 280 feet per second out of the box. Not real good internals. And this thing new was $400. So things have changed. Things have changed. For half of that, you can get an AEG that's ready to go out of the box, that you could almost even just hook a lipo to it and just run with it. So this thing, pot metal gears, the first time we put a 9.6 on it, it stripped all the teeth off the spur gear. But this has been a learning platform for me and a lot of the team members. 4 of these, I believe, were purchased the day we decided to get into Airsoft. All 4 of the four founding members of our team had this AEG originally, but it has since been gone through internal, external. It's all upgraded. Everything has been done. Low resistance wiring. Now it's down to Dean's connector, wired to rear. And because I have the adjustable stock, I have this little pouch here that I can put the batteries in. And it does have now a metal receiver. So this thing's a tank. By today's standards, it's actually heavier than a lot of the other M4 AEGs that are out there on the market. But that's my OG. That's the original Tokyo Marui. That's the one that started it all. Now coming down from there, this one here, also all metal construction. This is an ANK NS15 full metal lipo ready M4 RAS, and this is how it's listed on EVIC's website. They do still sell it. This model is still available. I don't know what they're selling for now. I got it on sale. It was really, really affordable. All metal construction, rail, rear wired, crane stock. Not bad. I mean, it fires good, about 360 FPS with a .2 BB out of the box. The only problem I had with this is feeding issues with other magazines. So I had to get specific magazines for this AEG because my Airsoft Elites, the GNGs, the ICSs, nothing would feed correctly except, and I have one still here in the bag because I didn't take this one out. So on this guy, we're running the APS UMAG. I guess that's what it's. I guess those are the part numbers, and it says UMAG on the magazine itself. And these are polymer mags, and it's a high cap, so I mean it's a winding mag, but these actually feed in this. So I have 4 of them. Actually, I purchased 3. I sent it in to have it repaired because something was wrong with it out of the box, or so I thought. And when they sent it back to me, they sent it back with one of those APS UMAGs, and it worked fine. So I purchased 3 more, so I have 4 that are specific to this particular AEG. Now coming down from there, now we get into one of the polymer ones here. SRC M4A1 carbine, or carbine. I guess it just depends on who you ask. Not bad for a polymer one, you know, compared to my, 20-year-old Tokyo Marui. Back when we bought those, and if that thing creaked and made all kinds of noises and it felt loose and a little wobbly at times. It doesn't now, but I had to put a lot into it. This one here, solid unit. Not the fastest cycling, but it does cycle roughly 350, 360 FPS on a .2, and not bad. I purchased a tan mag to go with it. It came with a black mag. It's wired to the front, so you got to have like a nunchuck battery or something that fits in the front handguard. And believe it or not, that bright orange tip there is metal, so it's not a plastic one. It's actually a metal tip. Adjustable rear stock, removable carry handle, and it's not bad. It shoots pretty good. It's been a good loaner, and for the games that we go and play, as you can see, I usually supply some AEGs for some of the people who want to play, but it's been pretty good. Now going down from that, this is one I got in a raffle. Actually, I was kind of blown away. I believe that it was a rental, and that's why they were raffling them off, but that's fine. It still shot pretty good. It's a GNG combat machine. Plain and simple, polymer body, adjustable stock, wired to the front, shooting mid 300s on a .2 BB, and it's been a workhorse. I can put just about any magazine in this. It'll also feed a manual winding 5,000 round box mag if you really want to get heavy with it and you're not actually doing an op where the only way you can have a box mag is to have a sport weapon. It pretty much feeds everything, and it's got lots of BBs through it, and it'll, anytime as long as the battery's charged and you plug the thing in, it's ready to go. It is polymer, but it's pretty solid, even though it's polymer construction for the receiver. It is, it's a version 2 gearbox, so if I really want to get into it, I can upgrade everything. Most all these have version 2 gearboxes, with the exception of the ICS. That's the only one that has a weird gearbox that's split, but everything else is just a standard version 2. Now coming down from that, this one here, this is one that I am having problems editing because I don't have the software anymore. I guess now you can't just go in and buy software for editing. You got to pay for like a yearly subscription, and that's what gets you access to the functions of the program. So I'm still working on this. I did a review on this. I tore this one apart, even gearbox, internal, everything. This one, SEMA standard M4 QBS with built-in MOSFET and trigger hop-up. This is the 8.5 inch model. Now, this is also something purchased from evic.com, and they have since changed the listing because it is no longer listed as a QBS, because even though it was a QBS receiver, it didn't have a QBS spring guide, and I get into that on the review, but I put it back to the QBS spring guide. I did have a quick change spring guide, but you had to remove the gearbox to do that. But this thing, tracer hop up, MOSFET trigger unit, this thing is nuts. Laser cut steel gears, piston with a full rack of metal teeth, silent piston head and cylinder head. So I mean, this thing is, and it's got a decent rate of fire, shooting 377. It was 377 with a .2. And even though it's an 8.5 inch model, which is good for CQB, you can use this outdoor. It has good range, and the hop-up works really well. It's a rotary hop-up, but this thing works really well. Coming down from that, this one here, got this on sale. This was a happy birthday to me type purchase. This is the G&G FAR 556 Rapid Folding M4. So this thing folds up. It's a 3-way fold. The stock folds in, the barrel and hop-up unit folds in, and with the mag out of it, you can literally put this in an ammo can. It also has a built-in MOSFET that can be, your full auto can be either full auto or 3-shot burst, and you can change it just by using the trigger. You don't have to hook anything to it, and it has a flat trigger. It's really, the rate of fire on this thing is nuts. So this thing, and yes, it's polymer construction, polymer receiver. It does say combat machine on the receiver, so it's related to this guy here, just a little bit different layout. Flip down or flip up, flip down sights, and it's got a kind of an ergonomic hand grip there, or motor grip. But this thing it's nuts. It's got decent range. Haven't chronoed it yet. Haven't really got into any reviews on this one. I just took it out of the box and hung it on the wall to go with the rest of them. So that's the M4 wall, and of course spare parts and pistols. Now let's get over to this side. Now I am M4 biased. I do have other stuff. So we'll start at the top. So at the very top, this is the FN licensed M249 Featherweight by Cybergun. And I had an M249 back in the day. I purchased it in, I believe it was 2005, maybe 2006. I purchased it specifically for an op, because now the only way you could have a winding mag or anything other than a standard magazine, non-winding, was to be a support gunner. So I purchased an A&K, which was all metal. That thing was a tank. All metal, big 3,000, 2,500 round electric winding sound activated box mag. So this is the same size as that one. This one has rails on it though. My other one didn't have that. And I'll tell you, the weight difference is way less. Anybody who wants to be a support gunner but doesn't want to do it because the things are heavy. This is the full stock one. This isn't even the para model. It is really not that heavy. And unlike your standard M249 AEG, this actually has a version 2 gearbox stuffed into the M249 receiver. So as far as upgrades and tuning and all kinds of other stuff, it's really not, I mean, it's really easy to work on. It's not like the old school M249s. It also has a quick change spring, which you can do without taking you can change the spring without taking the gearbox out. That's easy to get to. It also has a piston with a full rack of metal teeth. And I mean, the internals, the bushings, everything, it's done well. It's done well. Review coming on that one as well. I did have some issues with box mags, but I think we've gotten that worked on. I have the FN licensed 2,000 round electric winding sound activated box mag. We'll be getting into that, but you can run M4 mags. You can see the one that's sticking out there. You can just run standard mags in that. But okay, so coming down from there, this was purchased as a parts gun because it had a metal body that I wanted to use for my G3 SAS. But this is a G3 SG1. The body is made by Classic Army, but it's a Tokyo Marui SG1. Now I'm slowly trying to turn this into a DMR. Will I block off the full auto? Maybe not. I'll just have to watch my engagement distance, which that's fine. Right now, shooting 395 with a .2, and I have a bunch of parts to put in this thing to really make it, you know, what it looks the part. I need it to actually act the part. So I have a precision, you know, tight bore barrel and a whole nother hop up, so I don't have to worry about swapping hop ups. It's going to be ready to install. I'm contemplating a whole new gearbox build, so I can just take the gearbox out of there that's shooting 395 and drop one in with a different spring and see if we can get the FPS up a bit more, so I can actually classify it just straight sniper. Right now, it has really decent range, so that's the goal for that one. Now this one coming down one, G3 SAS. I purchased this secondhand as a secondary back when I had my Tokyo Marui because there was always something would always come up and we'd have a problem. I wanted something else to be able to play in case, you know, my M4 broke. And this G3 SAS is made by Tokyo Marui, and it was good. It was good stock. It's polymer receiver. There's nothing metal as far as the receiver on this one. And we went ahead and built this. Ever since we built it, let's see, it got built, like totally run through, all custom parts, metal bushings, everything, spring, everything was all done up, tight bore barrel, everything was done. Yeah, I think that was 2000, actually I think that was 2004, because I actually took that to my first op. My first 3-day op, or milsim op, was in 2004. So I actually had this in 2004. It was built right after that op in 2004, and mid-year 2023 it finally broke. So I noticed that, well, it actually shattered the cylinder head. I found out after I opened it, but then I also saw that the gearbox towards the front was cracked. So I just ended up replacing the gearbox, replacing some parts, reshimming it, and I put 16:1 gear ratios in it. You know, I did it a little bit different this time, but it's this thing rails BBs pretty good. Also, I put the silent piston head, cylinder head combo in it. But people look at this and go, "Oh," they used to say, "Oh man, no, he's got an SAS, he's got no range." Well, under this mock suppressor, You'll see here in a second. There's a million threads on here. Yeah, full AK length barrel here. It actually might be a little bit longer than that, but yeah. So where the barrel used to stop, in here, it stops way out there. It goes almost to the end of the suppressor. So people say, "Oh, he's got no range." Yeah, I got plenty of range with this. So it's kind of a wannabe sniper. I've taken people out from really far away before, and they just can't understand how I did it. No, that's how I did it. So all right, coming down from there, this was one that was purchased to. I did a review on this one. I actually posted the review. This is the licensed Kalashnikov AK-47 with electric blowback by SEMA Cybergun. So I'm really not sure. Is it made by SEMA? Is it made by Cybergun? Is it Cybergun built it with SEMA parts? I'm not sure, but that's how it's listed on evic.com. That's how it's listed on their website. All metal. It's all metal, and it came with real wood furniture. And shoots really good. Like I said, I did a review video of this, and I chronoed it, and we did like a rate of fire. I don't know if my chrono was registering the rate of fire correctly. I think it was, but I think I read the number wrong. So if you watch that video and want to leave a comment and let me know I read it wrong, just let me know. What I did here is I took my old Tokyo Marui AK, which was a parts gun, and it's always been kind of a secondary just to play the part. Like we would do milsims where we were Russian insurgents, and I wanted something that looked the part, so that's how I ended up with the Tokyo Marui. But that thing, it took a hit one time out in the field, and there's parts that we lost. I had to order some stuff, and some parts I can't really get, so ended up doing this. Well, what I did is it came with real wood. The rear stock, the pistol grip, and the front grip, all real wood. But what I did is I took the parts off of the Tokyo Marui to preserve the wood that came on this one. So this is actually the stuff that came off of the Tokyo Marui. So then if this gets damaged, it's like, oh, whatever, no big deal. And I don't have to unscrew the butt plate to put the battery in there. That thing just clips off and clips back in when you want to change the battery. So that works a little bit better, but the electric blowback is actually pretty cool. Gives a little bit of realism. But yeah, all metal construction. The thing is a tank. And coming down from there, this is our last one here. This is a G&G UMG. They call it a UMG, not a UMP. The real steel version is a UMP. The airsoft one is called a UMP. I purchased this also secondhand. Somebody just wanted to get rid of it. All polymer construction. It is a version 3 gearbox and foldable stock. So I keep this on hand for my wife. If she wants to play, if she doesn't have the longest arms, she can actually fold the rear stock folds all the way across, and it's that much shorter. So it's almost like a pistol. The magazines I have, they're 500... I think 520 or 530 round winding high caps. They're not like M4 high caps where you can wind them once and it fires them all. You do have to wind it midway, but I mean the thing functions pretty good. The only thing I've had to do to this, and when did I purchase that? I think I purchased this in 2006. And the only thing I've had to do is replace the trigger. Trigger contacts just got smoked, and I got tired of sanding them down. So I put a new trigger in it. Or actually, I think I repurposed the trigger from one of the AKs or something. I don't know, but I fixed it. So yeah, that's it. This is 20. We're going on 21 years because we're 2024 now. We started in 2003. We didn't get real serious with the milsim ops until 2004. That was our very first op. Was Lion Claw 4 out in Tehachapi, California. That was our first op, and a lot of people have done a lot of those ops. I did 4, 5, 7, and 11. So 4 was in Tehachapi, 5 was in Phelan, California, or out in the desert. Well, actually, no, I'm not sure. It was a desert terrain, that one. 7 was back in Tehachapi, so 7 and 4 were in the same place. And then when I did Lion Claw 11, that was at George Air Force Base in Victorville, California. And I had to do that because I was leaving California, and I knew this was going to be the last chance I was going to have to play with our team. And that was awesome because that was on base, and it was urban combat, room clearing, 2-story buildings. That was just awesome. But yep, that's the collection there. Airsoft it's a lot of fun. I've known a lot of people that went from paintball to airsoft. I know some people that play airsoft that still play paintball, but not me. I stopped playing paintball in 2001. That was the last time I played that, and then I got into the airsoft. So anybody looking to start off and get into airsoft, there are a lot of products now on the market that basically blow away my first purchase. $400 for a plastic gun that shot 280 feet per second out of the box with crappy internals. I mean, the bushings were plastic even. You know, it did have a metal version 2 gearbox, but plastic bushings, pot metal gears, it's just... The only good, I'll say the only good thing, I guess, internally was the gearbox shell was not bad, and the motor. The Tokyo Marui EG-1000 motors, we've never had any problems with them. I think, actually, my G3 SAS had an EG-1000. It again, almost 20 years, it just finally froze. It just broke. But not bad, considering the amount of BBs we put through it. So, yeah. There are multiple retailers. I deal a lot with evic.com now, and a lot of these products, other than the old school Tokyo Marui stuff, a lot of the stuff is available on their website. And for like $250, you can get a gun that's worth it. Get a good internals, ready. Sometimes lipo ready. I know this one here that says lipo ready, the ANK. I know that thing was. At the time I got it, it was under $250. So there are awesome products on the market, all the way up to that with the M249, which was, I believe, when I caught it on sale on Epic Deal, I think those sell for $220. And multiple options for magazines as far as box mags and everything. So they do still make G3 SG1s. You're not going to find a Tokyo Marui, but they do still sell them. It's a different brand, but you can still get them. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. It's a fun, I don't know if you want to call it a sport, but it's a fun hobby, and I enjoy playing. As you can see, again, the collection, this is 20-year accumulation. So we'll have some more reviews coming. I'll get to editing this one on the SEMA down here. You guys are gonna, anyone who's really doing the research, wait till you see the gearbox section I did on this one. That thing is nuts internally. It's really done up well. So that's it for now. And like I said, we'll have some other reviews coming once I get this stuff filmed and edited. And stay tuned. If you're looking into airsoft stuff, I will do my best to do reviews on products and get the knowledge out to you, so you're not going into it blind, and you know what you're getting into. I'll probably be doing a video also on this SG1 build, trying out different stuff for we'll call it the designated sniper gearbox, because we're going to be putting a really nasty spring in the gearbox. So hopefully we don't shatter anything. But we'll see what happens. We'll get that out to you. All right. Take care, guys. Have fun. Get out there and play airsoft. If you do, keep at it.